Guess who's back?
Who the hell are you?
I don't know.
Thank God you're back. Everybody saw when the music started going down. They're like, "Oh God, hopefully Chad's back. Hopefully Chad's back." I was doing the same thing.
It's good to be back.
It's good to have you, man.
Welcome to
Where were you? God, what the heck?
As you can hear, I'm still
Sick.
battling a little bit of this head cold. So if I sound different, I apologize. Maybe I sound better this way. I don't know. Whatever.
Sticky shoes.
You just get worn down.
My sticky shoes.
And your body just can't handle it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm back. I'm here. I'm going to do the best I can. It's Candid Athletic Training. You have a sugar high, I think. Let me try some of this.
It's candy.
I came back. We got new candy, so the podcast has been way improved.
Training. Oh, my God. Ooh. That one's sour. That one is really sour. Yeah. Anyway.
What
podcast is this? I'm going to look it up. Where should I look it up?
You can find us on any podcast app in the world. Just about all of them.
Can you send me a link?
Candid Athletic Training. Oh. You can find our website, www.candidathletictraining.com. And you can find us on social media.
Where?
Candid_ATC. Woo. So thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you to all the people that are joining us on the live stream. If you want to join the live stream, just head on over to our website, get yourself a membership, a Candid Athletic Training membership, and you can join this community that we have.
Ooh, Chad Star.
Kento
do just called you a Chad Star.
I know. He hasn't met me yet. I appreciate that, Kento.
I call him Chad Stir. Chad Stir.
Chad
Stir.
You did a Phoebe?
Huh?
Hannah said, nice Phoebe impression, Kevin.
See, Hannah. Welcome back, Hannah.
What did you say?
Welcome back, Hannah. I went sticky shoes.
I heard you saying that.
My sticky shoes.
I didn't know why you were saying that, so I didn't.
Do you know anything about Friends?
They just did the HBO special last week.
Yeah, but did you watch any of Friends? Like, have you ever watched Friends?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I haven't sat down religiously and binged the whole thing.
You know how Phoebe is like a singer, a little guitarist,
oh, it's one of her songs.
Well, she's sick in one episode.
Oh.
And she like starts singing a song, and she's got this really deep, sultry voice all of a sudden. And then she's like, "Wow, this chick sounds good." And then she starts singing. She tries to keep it as long as possible.
Let me ask you.
So you're Phoebe right now with a weird cold.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
As a professional podcaster, I'm going to ask you: would you rather?
Okay.
Would you rather your voice be too high or too low?
Low.
You would want that.
Yeah. I don't think I can talk like that.
Mickey Mouse over here.
Yeah, man. I didn't think my voice was that low until I started doing this podcast. I think my voice is kind of low.
I've always thought that.
I always thought my voice was pretty high.
No. Not compared to me. I'm like the high-pitched one, the whiner.
I never thought that until we started doing this. Oh, God.
COVID.
All right. COVID. It's all right.
Damn it.
It's done with.
Sorry for the sniffles. Sorry for the coughs. I'm going to do my best to keep them out of your microphone.
Sorry that I have a sugar high already.
No, you're not.
Who else should we thank anybody?
We should thank the official sponsor of the Candid Athletic Training Podcast, our friends
guys
at Healthy Roster. You can find them at www.healthyroster.com. Again, they are some fantastic people. Without them, this show isn't doing what it's doing.
Hell no. Hell no.
They were the first people they believed in us before we really believed in us.
Do you remember having that first conversation with them at NATA 2 years ago?
I remember going to their booth, but I honestly was, my head was spinning, like trying, like,
we were trying
I was
to meet
so
everybody.
nervous. I don't remember actually talking to them. I remember being at their booth though.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, randomly, they got a hold of us a couple months later. It was like, hey, we want to do stuff with you.
Hey, do you want to do stuff?
Check yes or no.
Yes or no?
Yeah,
yes.
We're the yes.
We're the yes category.
It's hard to get a no from us.
Absolutely.
We're whores.
Just ask. We'll say yes.
We have a fun show tonight.
Do we?
I'm excited because I haven't done one in 2 weeks. So I barely remember what we're supposed to do. I
do you know how to do this stuff?
Barely.
I was trying to be funny last week, and it was not happening.
I haven't had a chance to listen to the episode. I'm looking forward to it. No, I'm going to.
I don't think it's worth it.
I was sitting at home sick. Oh, so here it is. Let's just tell the story.
Just tell it as it is. You always tell everybody everything.
Yeah, I'm an overshare. That's what I do. That's my role on this. I was under the weather. Plus, I was in the middle of 9 days on the road. It was my one off day. I thought I should probably spend this with my family. Plus, I was sick. Plus, I got my wife sick and my kids started to get sick. I'm like, I cannot leave the house. I apologize. For a split second, I thought about joining the live stream. I'm like, that's a bad look if I jump on the live stream and I start messing with Kevin from home. I
thought you were going to.
I almost did.
I really thought you were going to.
But I just couldn't.
I am not going to sleep tonight.
No, you're not. You got way too much sugar. Well, it's good to be back. I'm looking forward to it. Do you have anything to, I mean, do you want to just keep talking about this candy before we do the show, or what do you want to do here?
So I'm trying to remember. So Jamie, Jamie's a new, I guess, trainer, coach, but then also she's part owner of the new Brew Fitness that's going up in Shorewood, just north of Milwaukee here.
Suburb.
So she gave me this candy last week. I don't think I ate enough of it last week. Otherwise, it would have been a better show. And then this week, it's much more sour. I don't know if maybe it marinated itself. Who knows? But thank you, Jamie, for that. But I'm trying to remember what she compared it to.
I don't know if you can see this.
It's like
at the bottom. It's just straight sugar is all on the bottom.
So I'm trying to think
fruit by the foot.
No, okay, it looks like fruit by the foot.
A little bit.
But with sugar all over it. And you know, like the ropes, the straws? Maybe it says straw in the
Red Vines?
No. I used to get them when I went to the movies all the time.
Super rope.
Plastic?
Yeah.
Or like
a clear plastic with blue?
No.
I think they're just called super ropes.
I used to always get sour apple, and they were sugar.
Oh.
And like it was a straw, maybe yay long. That's what she said.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a little generous, Kevin.
And then God.
But then they were like lined up next to each other.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
What were those called?
No idea.
That's what they remind me of, but more in the fruit by the foot.
So like if you took these
style.
And you ran an X-Acto knife, or if Wolverine got a hold of these.
Yeah. Or if you rolled them up like a cigarette or something.
Let's try that.
I don't have cigarette problems.
Sour punch straws.
Ooh. Yeah, something like that.
Abby says sour patch.
Yeah, something like
straws.
That. Yeah, something like that. I like that. I'm gonna look them up.
We'll roll with it.
Should we just?
All right, I'm gonna hit this button that gets us to the next level.
Okay.
I said that gets us to the next level, like this is some sort of video game. We just leveled up. How many lives do you think we would need to get through this show?
Too many.
Did you get it right?
Yeah, sour punch straws, I think, is it. Yeah. I think that's it. You know what would be great? And we talked about this when we have
more
our own
free stuff.
When we have our, yeah,
more members.
More members
would be great.
More members. More members of what?
Tell them why they should get a membership. What do they get for?
Oh my gosh! If you get a membership, not only do you get to listen to us live, if you get at least the Candymania package, which is just $50. You know, it's $50 for the whole year. All right, but with that $50. And if you want to go higher, you can go higher. Just to let you know, full Johnsons are there, and so with the whole shebang is also there for you. With your membership, you get discounts at not only Master Dry Needling. How much do they get on that?
$75.
$75 off of Master Dry Needling.
So you give us 50, but you get 75.
That's
back,
weird.
So we're giving
that doesn't
you money?
make sense. That doesn't make sense.
Check.
Okay. So then there's this website. I think some athletic trainers have heard of it. It's called MedBridge.
Heard of it.
Okay. So what do they get if they go to MedBridge?
$175.
What?
More dollars.
Okay, $175 off your membership to MedBridge. We all got CUs coming up this year. Now, reminder, if you already have a MedBridge account, don't sign up for a new one. That doesn't make sense. Sign up for it when it expires and get that $175 then. You already paid money. Don't pay more. Pay it then.
Mm-hmm.
Get your $175 then. What else do we got?
They get discount on merchandise like these hats and these shirts.
This hat? What? Not this shirt, but that shirt. I got this shirt special.
Yeah.
Our friends at Howie's gave me this shirt. You get discounts on all of our merchandise. If you, depending on the level, you get a certain discount. 10%, 20%, something like that. Okay?
Priority show topics.
What? Okay.
Case in point tonight.
Case in point. We will be talking about something Dylan Campbell wants us to talk about. And God knows he wants us to talk about a lot. Anything else?
He's a member, so we do it for him.
He is. He is.
You know what? I gotta take a quick 20-second time out here. We probably should have opened the show with this.
Where?
It's Memorial Day.
Oh.
We're recording on Monday. This is Memorial Day if you're listening to this, not on the live stream. So hopefully you had a day or the weekend to stop, reflect, what's important, thank some people who have sacrificed so that we can do what we enjoy. I think a lot of times we get so caught up in our day-to-day. I think it's important to take some time and reflect. And hopefully you had an opportunity to do that this weekend.
I hope so.
And hopefully you had a great Memorial Day.
I've had many opportunities. I didn't have any opportunities today to say thank you or hello to any veterans in person. But I have many times in my life, and I've been able to work with the Wounded Warrior Project. I've been able to work with a lot of Navy SEALs in my day. And I'm telling you, those people are very, very good people that have done a lot for our country and for us so that we can just sit here and do a podcast. And it's pretty awesome. And they wanted to do it. So kudos to you. Thank you. Love you. And this day is definitely for you, and as many other days should be.
Well said.
All right.
All right, Kevin, since you're the seasoned veteran here.
Freaking membership.
Pick a segment.
Fat. You were going to surprise me with fat.
We're going to do this.
All right.
This is right up your wheelhouse.
Okay.
So I was on the road a lot this weekend.
Yep.
To the chagrin of my family, but it was there. I had a little bit of downtime, so I streamed a movie.
Okay.
A movie I'm assuming you've seen because this is right up your alley.
Okay.
We're gonna do a fat Ford versus Ferrari.
Ford versus Ferrari.
I watched the movie. Have you seen the movie?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
Definitely right up my alley.
We're gonna just do the brands though.
Okay.
Yeah, this is I knew you'd get excited about this.
That is cool.
What's more like? Who's going to make a better athletic trainer? Is Ford or Ferrari?
Okay.
I know we probably all want to be Ferraris.
No.
But is that the best?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
One,
you're the car expert. You're the gearhead. Take it away. I'm going to watch you shine here.
So, but the movie.
I'll jump in. No, just because I watched the movie, I think
I know. Okay, so if I'm just doing the brands in general.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just doing the brands in general. Okay. I'm not doing the cars that were in the movie.
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. And I'm going to try to stay a little more contemporary.
You can go anywhere you want with this. This is the goddamn Candid Athletic Training podcast.
Oh, okay.
I see the distress.
This is tough because, yes, you're right. I mean, most of us want a Ferrari. Most of us want to be able to experience being an athletic trainer at its limit, and you can live at that limit until basically you break down. But horrible on the everyday spectrum, right? So almost every Ferrari vehicle is not a season-long vehicle, right? It's in the moment, it does the job better than anybody else could do the job. Even Ford's pinnacle of a Ford GT or the most radical Ford Mustang is not, you're not going to jump into that one versus the Ferrari on a track day. Or if you really are like, I'm going to win a race. Now, Not just talking about straight ahead speed. I'm talking about actually bobbing and weaving and left and right and having to brake and having to accelerate, because that's what athletic training is on a track at its peak.
It's shifty.
You have to be in the Ferrari for that. Now, we all know that that's not where we live at all moments. We live right here. Down here, right?
We live right
here. We live right here. Yeah, right here. This is your this is your zone.
Pizza? There's going to be pizza there.
No.
Don't you
ever. Right here. This is your zone, okay? This is where you live.
Q-tip. Throw it away.
Oh, God. I haven't watched that in a while.
I love it. I haven't either.
Now, Ford, much wider variety of, we got options, right? We have everything from your cooler hauler to your very good economic vehicle. Ferrari is doing hybrids now, but they don't get very good gas mileage. You're still stopping at the pump pretty often. Okay, so Ford, you got the F-150, you got the Mustang. You got the million different SUVs. Oh, you got the sedans. There's a reason. There's a reason the police force uses Fords. Not only probably they get a good deal, but at the same time, it's like it does everything you need it to do.
Have you driven a Ford?
I drive a Ford all the time. That's what Jackie has.
Okay.
Jackie's got Ford.
No, but no, you personally.
No, I've never bought a Ford.
Okay, that's what I didn't think you had, but I wasn't sure.
I've driven many Fords in my day. I've never
driven them, but you've never owned one.
I've never owned one. Now, the number one selling vehicle in America is a Ford F-150. Okay. The number one selling vehicle. So clearly, people like it. I think people should like athletic trainers. They do everything. They can be comfortable. They can get you from A to B. They can also haul some stuff in their back. They can take care of you. Ferraris, though, they just do everything to that pinnacle. Oh, man.
Have we stumped you?
No.
No,
not yet.
Let me ask
Is anybody saying anything?
Yeah, Hannah said it's got to be Ferrari. Ford equals found off-road dead.
So clearly Hannah's like a Chevy or a Dodge person. Maybe a Jeep girl. I could see Hannah driving a Jeep.
Abby says Ford, totally. Ford more versatile and rugged. Ferrari looks fantastic, but does it last?
Yeah. See now, but that's the thing is, if the Ferrari is taken care of, that thing will be pristine for the rest of its life, and it will last, and it will be. Now, you might go to the garage, and it might not start, though. That's the other thing. Those Italian supercars can be a little finicky, so maybe you get the grumpy athletic trainer that maybe could be the best athletic trainer in the entire world, but is just not their day, so they're not going to start until they get their espresso or, maybe a macchiato, and then go from there. What do you think? You got any opinion on this? Have you ever had? Oh, you had a Ford.
Yeah,
I've
had two.
Explorer Sport. What'd you have before that?
Just a regular.
You had the.
I had an
just
Escape. I think I had an Escape.
No, you had the Explorer. I think.
I had the Explorer, and then I had the Explorer Sport Track.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I would have to think that as
Hannah's my girl. Look
yeah.
Me and Hannah are just right there all the time.
I think that Ford is probably just the more everyday, down to earth, basic brand.
Sure.
Where Ferrari is, like you said, it's probably the souped up, very high scale. It's a performance vehicle.
But here's the thing. Okay.
If I had to make an analogy, I feel like you could take a Ford and put it in Eddie's setting as an athletic trainer, and it would probably be fine. Ferrari probably needs to stay in its lane.
Yeah, you're right.
Is Ferrari going to cover all the sports? Is Ferrari able to handle the amount of athletes that a Ford is, I don't know.
No, I mean, there's only one. I think there's one 4-seater Ferrari.
No.
So, I mean,
which car is
you
gonna,
can
okay,
get
which car is
an
going to be
8-seat, Ford Expedition.
Let's do this real quick.
Yeah, what?
Which vehicle is going to be better in an emergency situation? Arguably the Ferrari?
Arguably the Ferrari should be able to get there faster. I mean, what do you think of when you think of Ferrari? You think red.
Fast. Like I feel like a fast, nimble, like driving down the interstate, weaving traffic. That's what I think.
Well, you think of Mike Lowry. That's what you
think.
Mike
Lowry. Now that's how you drive.
Now, okay.
Kento wants us to ask Jeep for some membership discounts. We can ask.
Hey, I'm right there with you, Kento. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I did just sell my Jeep Wrangler a year ago.
I just see Ford as the everyday, basic, no frills brand. That's just how I see it.
Just gets the job done.
Yeah. Roll up your sleeves, much more blue collar.
Could you imagine putting a cooler in a Ferrari?
Yeah, load that thing up with a couple of coolers. Ice chests.
You're maybe getting a 3-gallon cooler and your kit in the front seat. That's about it. And then you got no room for anything else.
Nate just showed up. He forgot it was Monday.
Ah, Nate. It's okay. It's Memorial Day.
All right. So what are you saying? Ford, Ferrari?
I don't know.
I'm going Ford. I'm the people's. It's kind of like the people's car. So I'm going with the people. I want basic. I want no frills. I want roll up the sleeves, blue collar, get that shit done. Give me a Ford as an athletic trainer. The yuppity Ferraris can go work whatever uppity sport they want to. Probably does a great job, but it ain't covering. It's not covering mid-major baseball. That's for sure. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going Ferrari because I want the best tool for the job at that moment. So I'm saying, and what I'm saying is, I'm on a track. I'm full go when I'm an athletic trainer, and I want to be able to stomp on that gas, and I want to hit 8,500 RPM, not 6,000 RPM.
Okay.
Okay.
There's no right or wrong here. This is a great debate. I want to put it up on social media and see what everyone else says. We can give the results next week.
Oh, it's so good. That was such a good. Okay, now here in the movie.
Yeah.
The movie itself.
It's Ford for sure.
I don't know.
Custom. It broke down.
That's what I'm saying.
No, the Ferrari broke down.
No.
In the final race. Yes, it did.
The final race.
Yeah, it did. They needed to tweak the Ford. It needed a little bit more schooling, a few more CEUs. Dude. It built itself up, and it became
the real story of all that. The Ford would not only the Ford was deadly.
Yeah,
it was legitimately was going down 180 miles an hour down a straight and took off in the air because it was so unstable and it had no downforce on the back end. The Ferrari kept winning because they would last through the race. The 24-hour Le Mans is not only about you have to have the fastest car, but you have to have the cars that last. And Ford couldn't do it for 3 years. And then all of a sudden, they finally listened to what's-his-face, Batman.
Christian Bale.
And let him at it. And then they finally developed a car, and they finally let him even drive that. He knew how to keep the car in check so that it could finish. Those were very, very temperamental cars. And those cars would not have been good athletic trainers. The early Ferraris would have, though. They could go all day at 180 miles an hour and not even get a screw loose somewhere. And that's what
in the movie, the Ford went 218.
Sure. But the Ferrari went 198 and never broke down. You know what I'm saying? Until it did. Eventually it did because they were trying to keep up with, but then they were lighter. save gas mileage. I mean, all these different things. But that's where I was really stumped, is because I'm thinking about the movie and I'm like, well, actually, like the real story, the Ferraris are the ones that like lasted throughout the entire race, and that's what kept beating the Fords, is because they kept breaking down. And we've all been there. We've had to work 24 hours, and at first the Ferraris were better, then the Fords come in. But I'm still going Ferrari.
Okay,
I want it.
That's great. We'll put it up and we'll see what the people say next week.
I'm also just not a huge Ford fan.
Yeah,
that was a great movie though. That movie was like, I loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
Totally me.
Yeah.
And I cranked the crap out of that one too when I watched it.
Where are we going next in this show here?
FMK.
F, marry, kill. This week we are going to F, marry, kill reasons to miss work. We're going to give you 3.
Okay.
You have a funeral.
Okay.
Not your own.
Oh, that was a good reason to miss it, though.
It would be the ultimate reason to miss work is your own funeral, but you have to go to someone else's funeral.
Okay.
2, you're sick.
Okay.
3, wedding. You're getting married. Don't know when that would ever happen.
I don't know anybody that gets married.
Not during.
Is it your own wedding that you're missing it for?
A wedding.
A wedding.
I have a wedding to go to.
You do. Okay, I'm gonna marry the wedding.
That's a good reason. That's just CYA right there, people. For those of you who don't know, Kevin's getting married this week. Well, when they hear this,
yeah, not these people. The people that are on it, no. But next week, yeah. I'm marrying a wedding though, because if you can miss work for a wedding, chances are, one, it's the weekend, so most likely, hopefully, you can miss more than just one day, and then 2, like you can enjoy the weekend. But then, like 2, weddings for me at least are usually a very good time. I've been to some weddings that were a bore, and I said, you know what?
Mine's?
No, not at all. Yours was great. Not like, have a drink, get on the dance floor, and have a good time. It'll be like you're going to make it happen. So I definitely have to marry the wedding.
Okay. So that's the best excuse to miss work. I got a wedding. All right.
I got a wedding.
All right.
I'm gonna F being sick. Because one, like, you don't want that to happen often, right? But then 2, you don't, like, this one might last a little bit longer, or it might just be one day, right? It could either be a quick hitter or like a nice little like reprieve from work. Even if you're sick, it's still like, you know what? I probably shouldn't come in. I'm pretty contagious. I just spent the whole night like in the bathroom. I'm not coming into work today. Now, it's no fun at first, but then once like you start feeling a little better, and maybe you like, all right, I can enjoy myself by just relaxing, maybe just watching some movies, hanging out with my dog, maybe drink some tea. I like the thought of like getting away that way, but not all the time. I don't want to be sick all the time. That would suck. I would miss weekends after weekends for weddings, so it'd be fun. And then I have to kill funerals because I don't like going to funerals. Really don't like going to funerals.
Right.
Like just don't like it.
So let me ask this.
What?
As an athletic trainer, before I give my answers.
Yeah.
Have you missed a funeral because you've had to work?
Yes.
Have you missed a wedding because you've had to work?
Yes.
Have you been sick and still gone in and missed being sick?
Yes.
Just checking. And I think that's the heart of this topic is, man, it's tough to get out of work.
I actually, when I talk to people about my career, like when I'm working on somebody at work now, and they're like, oh, like, you know, how long have you been here? Blah, blah, blah. And I start, a couple years. Blah, blah, blah. I was in professional baseball before. Oh, what made you leave that? Like, part of what I say is, honestly, I got sick of missing things like birthdays and weddings and July 4th, but even like funerals.
Yeah.
Like,
you feel guilty.
I felt horrible that I couldn't go to, I mean, me and my now fiance, but I couldn't go to her grandmother's funeral. I mean, we were pretty early in our relationship, and so it wasn't, we weren't there yet from my workplace's like viewpoint. Like, it wasn't my grandmother.
It wasn't deemed necessary.
Yes. And so therefore, like, I couldn't go. And that was just a really big bummer.
It's a tough look for athletic trainers.
Uh-huh.
And the problem is we're stretched out. We're stretched so thin to begin with.
Yeah.
So I have missed funerals. I have missed weddings. There's days I should have called in sick and I haven't.
Yeah.
And I've had this epiphany recently about, this whole grinded out mentality. It's got to stop. There's too much life happening out there. It's Memorial Day. We should be reflecting on what's important. And as I reflect on what's important, I need to make a change. I need to take these other things more seriously and not just say, hey, I have to work. I'm sorry, I can't do it. We've got to figure out as a profession ways that we can allow these things to happen.
This is going to go really well with our FOF too.
I know. So this is going to sound really stupid, but I think actually I was going to originally kill being sick as a reason to miss work, but I actually think you made some really good points and you have to marry it. One, it's the only one where it is actually endangering other people, even if it's a small, stupid little bit. I was just on the bus. This is where I got sick, on the bus with athletes. And I'm sure I got it from them or I gave it to them, but all of a sudden 10 of us are now have this little cold. That can't happen. So
at least it wasn't the other end.
Yeah.
Especially on the bus.
So being sick should be a valid, like, look, I can't put these athletes or clients in danger. And I kind of like what you said there with the whole Ferris Bueller syndrome.
Speaking of Ferraris,
getting to a certain point, man, sitting in the afternoon and be like, yeah, I probably could be at work, but I don't want to get anyone sick. Let me throw in another Marvel or a DC movie or something. And sometimes it's actually
Cameron
go. Ferris Bueller, you're my hero. We've never done that movie as a fat. That'd be fun. Part of it is sometimes those days off give you the best. Like, to me, sometimes I need to step away for a day.
Yeah.
And be like, oh shit, I should have been doing this with an athlete. Oh, I should try this exercise, whatever it might be. Sometimes I just need that buffer day. So a sick day might just do the trick. So I'll marry sickness as an excuse to miss work. It's probably the one that's most necessary. Funerals, man, this is tough. Have to kill a funeral or a wedding. Missing. So one of them you're gonna have to say give up and just completely be like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't make it. I guess. All right, I'm just gonna go really stupid here. This is just good quality analysis here on Candid Athletic Training. Statistically, the wedding's not going to work out 50% of the time, and your friend might get married again. So I'll kill that and take my chances that I'll catch their second wedding. The funeral ain't going to happen again. I'll pay my respects.
Yeah.
That's the analysis I got. I got nothing other than that.
I like it.
This
is
really
definitive. Like, you know what?
Statistically.
That's the last chance I'm going to be able to see that person. So this is definitive. I like it. It's a good way to go. That's very candid of you.
Well,
I mean, I think people are agreeing with you, right?
Well, here's the other thing. Just not that you're gonna miss it completely, but the wedding, you might be able to catch like the last hour or two. Maybe be like, hey, I gotta miss the dinner, but I'm gonna just show up. I've had that happen where I'm not traveling. It's like, hey, I'm probably not gonna get there for dinner, but I'll come dance and party with you.
Yeah.
Is that a bad look? I think most of the time you're going to other, like, I've gone to other athletic trainers' weddings and they get it. They understand.
Yes.
Funerals happen earlier usually.
Yes.
It's like you got to go at like right at 5 o'clock.
The wake.
Yeah, the wake is like at 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's tougher. That's tougher to miss, but I think it is. I think it's a better reason to miss.
It is. So. It's also like, I mean, weddings, at least you can plan for them. Like, at least you could go to your boss and say, true. Like,
that's a good point.
I have a wedding this Saturday, like this certain Saturday in whatever.
7 months from now, I know I'm going to need this. Can we work around it? Where a funeral sometimes, man, that's a great point. Sometimes the funeral just comes out of nowhere and it's like, how do you get out of it?
Unless you're, I mean, especially professional baseball, like it was always a joke, like in professional baseball, like your friends getting married in the summer and then they invite you to it. And it's like, really? Like zero chance I can go. Get married in November and I can go.
Well, hell.
So all baseball players and all baseball people like get married in the fall or the winter.
I just missed your bachelor party because I was working, and you didn't hate me for it because you understood. You knew it.
Totally.
Luckily, season's over. I'm going to the wedding. Let's fucking party.
Party up, dude. I think that's tough. You can't really plan for funerals too many times. Sometimes you can. Not often. Not often.
Hey, well, how about this? Hey. You can have multiple funerals just pop up.
You can.
Be like, hey, my friend's getting married for the third time. Is it okay if I go to this third wedding?
I know I took off time last year for his wedding, but I need to go this year too.
This one's really going to work out.
This one's going to be the one that sticks.
Oh, that's a fun conversation.
Otherwise, he's going to die. Oh, God.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go.
I think that's Ferris Bueller, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact scene, but
your friends shouldn't get married during sports seasons. I mean, like, yeah, it's tough though, because most of the time, I mean, most people get married, at least around here. So, like, I think if we lived in a warmer climate, you know, who cares when you get married? You don't want, like, if you lived in Arizona, who gets married in the summer in Arizona? Like, that would be tough unless you are having an entirely indoor wedding. I mean, every weekend you could have a freaking wedding in Wisconsin in summer. So like when you're in your mid-20s in Wisconsin, you are definitely going to multiple weddings every single year.
Yep. What's the most weddings you've had in 1 year?
Oh, I want to say at least 5.
I had one year. I had 13.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was 11. Like it was 11 or 13. I don't remember. Sorry.
That.
It was double digits for sure. All my college friends got married in the same.
I don't think I know that many people.
All my college friends got married in the same year, and it was like, holy cow.
Not so. That's crazy. See, and that was a difference of, it's weird going through wedding planning and then talking to people that got married when they were in their early 20s, and I'm in my mid 30s and my fiance is 30. Like, it's a different ball game. You're like, that person doesn't need to come to the wedding. That person doesn't need to come to the wedding. When you're in your early 20s, it's like, everybody needs to be here. Every one of my college friends, like, they're like my best friends. And then you end up having like 4 of them.
You never talk to them the rest of your life.
Like, I can't tell you how many people came up to me and were like, hey, when you're like inviting people or you're making your wedding party, just know that I haven't spoken to 5 out of the 6 people in my wedding party in 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, like, okay. Like, now I know how to pick this. He's in it.
Hannah, I would say
I'd have to see him every Monday. How could I not have him at my wedding?
What? I'm not getting all those comments, I guess.
No, I'm just making fun of you.
Oh, how many of them are still married? Of the 13
Of the
that I went to,
13. Yeah.
I think 10
Ooh.
statistically. Pretty good.
Doing better than the average.
I think so. Actually, I can only think of 2 that aren't. So
I'm trying to think. I mean, I think my friends from college, and then even like a little after college, that mid to late 20s era of people getting married. I only have a few that have gotten divorced, or at least or even going through a divorce. Yeah. So I think my friends are doing pretty good too. I'm not gonna lie.
Good.
I think they're doing pretty good.
Anything else on that FMK that was solid?
No.
Okay, where do you want to go?
I was trying to remember what we were talking about.
Reasons to miss work.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to do? Top 5 or friend or foe?
Let's go friend or foe.
Friend or
foe.
Fourth. So this kind of goes a little bit what we were just talking about here.
Totally Nate, by the way. Totally.
When an athlete requests a particular athletic trainer to do something.
Friend or foe?
Kevin, you're going to be the only one that stretches my shoulder.
Yeah.
Chad, you're going to be the only one that tapes my ankle.
Yeah.
I can't have anybody else tape my ankle.
Okay.
Whatever. And so let's talk about it. Friend or foe?
God, it's like it's a friend to your ego, right?
It's such a friend to your ego, but
like,
is it like good for athletic training in general?
Do you remember the first time, even like as an athletic training student or something, like one of the athletes was like, no, like I'm gonna wait for Chad to tape my ankle. Like you walked around little,
Mm-hmm.
Like it's such a good feeling when all of a sudden athletes are like, no, you're good at what you do, and I want you to keep doing it.
Yes. But is it good in general?
It's tough. I mean, this clearly doesn't apply to, say, most high school athletic trainers, right?
If you're by yourself.
But
there are high schools that have multiple athletic trainers.
But even that idea of like high school athletic trainers, and then maybe they have an intern or something like that, and then maybe
or a student.
Yeah, and then like the athletes are now like requesting, I don't know, like I really like the way the student athletic trainer, tapes my wrist or something. It's so even for that, that's actually like it's a good thing for the athletic trainer from the standpoint of it frees up some time, right? It gives you a little reprieve from like doing monotonous things maybe, or these very simple tasks that somebody else probably could do, and they're going to do just as good of a job.
Mm-hmm. Or vice versa, if you're the one that gets chosen.
Yeah. I mean, my career right now is very much like this. And then also my previous career was very much like it. And speaking to my previous career, and there was 3 athletic trainers for your 25 to 30 guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all had our guys. We all had our guys that liked, say, the way somebody stretched your shoulder or the way you taped an ankle or whatever it was. We tried really hard to make it like just next guy up, next guy up, next guy up. Like whatever table's open, you got to get on the table. But guys just start gravitating towards people, and they, all of a sudden the timing of the day just kind of works out the right way.
As like a routine.
It never. This is the only thing. It was a faux all of a sudden when X athletic trainer wasn't available and Y athletic trainer was.
I was just gonna say,
and like
tie that right into our FMK, Kevin. Yeah. You have to miss because of a wedding.
Yeah.
Somebody else has to tape or stretch the athlete that you're the go-to person for. What is that good?
But the other friend side of it though is like you're getting validation of that you're good at what you do.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
And
Your
then
ego is a friend.
Maybe that word spreads though. Maybe that word spreads to even then the coaching staff or to administration that like, this.
That'd be awesome, but does it ever happen?
Sometimes. I don't know about in your world. I don't think it happens at your world. I don't think any college athletes are going to the coaching staff or the, athletic director and saying, hey, you need to give this guy a raise. But every once in a while, like, I mean, honestly, some of my athletes were very open to our administration when they would come in and like stop down for a weekend or stop down for a day or whatever it was. And like, no, like these guys are awesome, right? I mean, it did help have some validation from athletes that we were doing well at our job.
Yeah, it does. It feels good. There's no denying that it's a validating thing. Now, Hannah brings up it's terrible when you're not the one selected, and maybe it brings some.
Yeah.
It makes another athletic trainer feel less worthy and wanting to get out of the profession more or whatever it might be. So maybe it is. We only look at it from, it can be a pro or a con. I think to me, it actually reinforces that the athletes are the inmates are running the asylum, so to speak.
What?
So why should we let the athletes determine how we do what we do?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say faux.
Actually,
we should be the ones that say, look, nope, I'm going to do this because I have the time or because I have a feel for it. But tomorrow I might not. Tomorrow somebody else can do it, or whatever it might be. We should be dictating the treatments, the exercises, the evaluations. We need to do a better job as a profession of setting the guidelines and not just being, I always say this, we cannot make the athletic training room a 7-Eleven where people just pop in and order and get whatever they want, whenever they want. It cannot, and I'm the biggest culprit of that in my scenario. You can ask any of the athletic trainers I work with. I am the worst at it. Just letting people come in and ask for stuff, and I'll do whatever I can because I want to help.
You're the worst at it.
It's setting a bad precedent. I need to do a better job of us athletic trainers dictating what happens in there.
So do you think it's a faux, though?
I think it's a faux when people request. I think it's reinforcing we're reinforcing a stereotype that the athletes are in control of what happens in the athletic training room. Final answer. Okay. Did I get it right? This is Millionaire, right?
Yes.
Can I use the lifeline?
No, you're out of them.
50-50? Can I use the 50-50 on a friend or foe?
You used the lifelines a long time ago.
Yeah, I did.
There's part of me it's saying, I'm saying friend. One, I experienced a different level of like athlete, meaning in professional athletics, I mean, they do need input into kind of sometimes what's happening, right?
Sure, but they should not. Just because they make millions compared to...
It's not that they make millions, it's that somebody is giving them millions.
Yeah.
So that's the difference, is that there's this...
They still don't know more than you do.
No, they don't. But,
so you should determine.
Well, no, I'm not. Now we're not talking about bringing your own treatment. We're talking about like...
Oh, we are, though.
No, we're talking more about like whether or not it is a friend or foe that like player Y comes in and says, no, like only Chad tapes my ankle.
Yeah. I've
Like,
seen it happen.
As long as Chad is going to tape the ankle. I'm not saying like, no, like Chad, tape my ankle like this. I'm not saying like, I think there is a friend in there that like, that does mean you're doing your job well.
I got friends.
I would think. I mean,
places.
Other than like results from somebody getting back from injury, I think we rely on the feedback of our athletes telling us that we did a good job, right? And so I think part of that is navigating that world of making sure that there is a better minimum standard, if you ask me, for athletic trainers. What we tried to do back in the day was try to make sure that everybody, like, you weren't going to get a bad tape job from other athletic trainer. You weren't going to get a bad stretch from other athletic trainer.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you do prefer other athletic trainer, but whatever. It's still going to be this minimum standard that is way above what you think it could be. And so what I worry about is when an athlete goes to somebody else, then they're trying to request me is that athletic trainer prepared to do the level that I've been giving my athlete? Because I don't think I was overboard in what I was giving. I think I was doing what an athletic trainer should. So there's part of me that's like, there's a little friend in there, because it does create this world of having a little more accountability for being a better athletic trainer.
So what you're saying is it is, to put it in economic terms, if there's competition, you're going to get a better product or a better price. Because maybe you have options.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think there is something there. I do think that athletic trainers should be challenging each other a little bit more from that standpoint.
You want
I still think
no monopolies. You want oligopolies.
Right? I don't know.
Yeah, but I still think
you were the business major at some point.
I know. But I still think
I'm thinking, no, like I used the little car in Monopoly, so I have no idea.
I still
Boardwalk? Can I put a hotel in Boardwalk?
What was your favorite properties to go after?
Oh God.
What color?
You know what? I don't know.
I always loved like St. Charles, like the reddish St. Charles.
The yellow ones were always.
So the ones right before those were the ones I always liked.
Okay.
So like the yellow ones were like Tennessee, like right before jail.
It went brown, blue, brown, purple.
The cheapest ones were purple.
Yep.
Then light blue, and then
brown wasn't first.
I don't think it was brown. Man, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Anyway.
No, that's a fair question though, because there is this. Some people just said, all I want Boardwalk I want blue, right? Yeah. And I want to dominate those, because if you do land on them, I'm taking you to the cleaners. Or I want more.
Working backwards, Boardwalk and Park Place were dark blue, and then the ones on the same was green, and then there was highlighter yellow.
Yep.
And then there was red, and then there was like
light
gold.
Oh, gold.
Like Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay.
And then like the ones before that. So the very first ones. So if you start
light blue.
No, they were like a burgundy.
Burgundy.
So like if you start Ron Burgundy,
many
holy shit! We've completely derailed this podcast. So if you start at the beginning and you go up one side of the board and then turn right once, and then heading towards jail, those first three properties, those were my favorite to get. St. Charles.
Charles.
Yeah, you're looking it up.
Picture. Just let me see a picture.
So what were your favorites?
I didn't really have. I mean, I'm going to be very honest. I didn't play Monopoly a crap ton. I've played way more Catan than I've played Monopoly. Yeah. I'll tell you that. So, yeah, brown, light blue.
All right.
Then it looks. I think it's your Ron Burgundies.
Yeah.
But they're kind of magenta on this picture. Orange. I probably always wanted to get orange because I liked orange when I was a little kid. Then red.
Yep.
Yellow, green, blue. Honestly, I think I always went for yellow and green.
Like Marvin Gardens?
I think I always wanted this corner for some reason. Like, because the chances of somebody landing right there were pretty high.
Oh, damn it. This is going on the podcast. Like, on the best Monopoly.
Fuchsia. That way, Nate.
Colors. Properties.
Oh, Nate, I owe you an email. I'll send it to you tomorrow.
To get.
Nate, I owe you an email. What were we talking about? Friend or foe? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm okay. So I agree with you that it's a foe because
I'm just saying foe. I'm saying foe. It's just reinforcing that athletes should have way too much say in what they want.
Sure. Yeah.
So ultimately, that's where it's great for your ego. It's great for like feeling good, and confidence builds better athletic trainers. But we have to do a better job of setting ourselves up for success.
We do.
So
we do. All right.
Cool.
What's last?
What's last before our real last. We have top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5, Kevin.
Yeah.
This is a fun one. We asked 100 athletic trainers, when was the last time you opened an athletic training related textbook?
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. 1 month ago, 1 year ago,
All right.
5 years ago,
Holy shit.
yesterday, and right now.
Today.
Right now.
You have it. You currently have one open.
Right now.
Right now.
I went with what like I was hoping people said. The last time because I only have one answer, right? Because that was the last time
Correct.
I opened it, right?
Yeah.
The last time I opened one, and does anatomy trains count?
Yep.
If anatomy trains counts, it was a month ago. If anatomy trains doesn't count, and it was literally a book that I would have gotten in college or a volume like it.
Yeah.
5 years for sure.
Yeah. I opened one just 2 weeks ago to do a CIP, a proficiency with a student, because I couldn't think of a scenario I wanted to give them. So I'm like, oh, maybe there's something in here. Before that, it's been like 3 years, 4 years. But okay, so here are your top 5. Actually, we have a top 4. We have a top 1, 2, 3,
7.
We have a top 6.
6.
We have a 3-way tie for 4th place. 7 responses apiece.
What?
2 months ago.
Okay.
7 athletic trainers said 2 months ago they opened a textbook.
Okay.
7 athletic trainers said yesterday.
Ooh.
And 7 athletic trainers said 1 year ago was the last time I opened a textbook.
All right.
So that was your 4th place.
Yeah.
In 3rd place, 9 athletic trainers said a couple weeks ago I opened one. 2 weeks ago.
All right. A couple weeks.
Yep. 10 athletic trainers, this is 2nd place. 10 athletic trainers said last week.
Oh.
I opened it.
All right.
And 12 athletic trainers said last month.
A month ago.
A month ago.
A month ago.
So we had yesterday, 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, last month, 2 months ago, 1 year.
Wow.
Where most of so that would be 7, 21, 30, 40, 52. Oh, I take that back. Let's just say this. If we take the 7,
What are you doing?
45 people basically said within the last 2 months. That's a lot.
Is that good or bad?
I think that's more than I anticipated. I thought more people would say it's been years.
I actually agree.
I mean, there's a lot more that aren't in the top 5 3 days ago. I mean, I bet you it's 2/3 of the people have said in the last 2 months, which totally surprised me.
Pretty good.
I thought it'd all be like
impressive.
It's been 8 years since I opened a book.
I would have anticipated that too, based on why would I open a book when I can just do this?
Yeah.
Bam, look it up.
Well, I have that started. I have an app. I use an app over textbook. I think that's the way it goes.
I mean, I haven't. Well, that's not true. I opened an anatomy book. I mean, Anatomy Trains recently, but then I go on an anatomy app on my phone all the time. I'm trying to think of the last time I opened my like athletic training 101, like the intro book.
Yeah, long
and
time ago.
That's probably I'm gonna give it 2014, and it was probably because I had an intern, and we needed to like verify something that he needed to like pass on or something.
Yeah.
And I remember telling him like, dude, just absolutely study the crap out of this book, and you'll do pretty good on your certification exam.
It's just so much easier to type something in on your phone and look it up rather than try and thumb through a book.
Yeah, but there's something about thumbing through a book.
All right, well, let's put that on. Books versus apps.
I think.
Should that be a friend or foe?
Sure.
I don't know.
Should probably put it on the list.
Books versus apps. Well, that's fun. Should we do our feature topic?
Yeah, why not?
All right, let's do it. All right, here we are. Get
We're
yourself
here.
a membership because you get to make the call.
Yep. Just like Dylan.
Do you have it up? Do you have it pulled up? What he actually said?
Oh, sure, I can do that. No problem.
Why don't you let these people know how we got there.
So, Dylan Campbell, he said, please discuss armchair athletic trainers. There was an incident in the NHL playoff game tonight that brought out the Twitter, quote-unquote, trainers. I feel like this needs to be addressed, and how can we, as athletic trainers, prevent this? So I'm thinking something happened in an NHL playoff game where somebody got hurt, and then everybody was criticizing what was happening on Twitter.
It was a C-spine injury. I remember kind of reading through the timeline.
Gotcha.
I think it was athlete ended up needing C-spine, but being a hockey player, he didn't want to stay down. He tried to get up and get off the ice, and people were barking about the job of how the C-spine was managed.
Gotcha.
For all intents and purposes. I think that's the nuts and bolts of it. So this brings up so obviously when we think social media and armchair athletic trainers, immediately that has a negative connotation. And we need to stop and be like, all right, although there's probably some negativity here, is there also some positive things that can happen? Whoa, what happened here?
Whoa, you just lost everything.
So what I'm saying is, so bringing up this whole thing, now all of a sudden there's some recognition on, hey, what's going on? Can we use it to create some good in athletic training, some awareness of what we do? So even though it came across as a negative situation, we can use it to be like, hey, you know what? This is what we do. This is how we manage it. This is why we're qualified to handle all these things.
Yeah. Is it a good idea? And is it now our place to jump on social media and make sure that we are informing people maybe why athletic trainers are doing certain things at certain times, or the proper procedures for X, Y, and Z? Now, that's a very slippery spot, though, of kind of,
So it's one thing if athletic trainers are criticizing other athletic trainers and they should know better, or ask before you start insulting. If it's random fans or random people saying, look, this was handled. This goes into the March Madness, the whole broadcasters are talking about, the blood spill cleanup thing. It's the same thing.
Does he have MD after his name?
Yeah. But if it's armchair athletic trainers, maybe it is athletic training on athletic training crime here.
It could be.
Which is unfortunate.
Shouldn't happen.
But you have to give the benefit of the doubt to the person that is in the situation.
Yes. And I think no athletic trainer should call out another athletic trainer in a public setting on that kind of situation. I mean, it definitely shouldn't be over Twitter. If it's on Twitter, please DM somebody. Like, don't be a jackwagon and DM somebody instead of like just freaking blasting them on the actual Twitterverse. Now the armchair AT. I mean, everybody thinks they can do better, right?
When I first read this, the first thing I thought of is coaches that know better, and I'm like, listen, this is what's going on. I had a situation where I had an injury over the weekend. I had to go out, evaluate on field. Coach came out, and then we were walking off. And then everyone in the dugout were asking about the situation. Oh, is it broken? And I go, no, I don't think so. And coach goes, I think it is. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Yeah, clearly it's not. No, and he played 2.5 more games, and he's fine. You know, like, come on.
Yeah. And that can't happen. That 100%
I also think you should have bunted in the third inning, coach. Yeah. But I'm not going to tell you that.
Should have.
Always
bunt. That would have been hilarious. Nah. I mean, so Abby brings up, an interesting. Can you honestly stop the trolls?
Got to pay the toll, troll.
Yeah. And you can't. You 100% can't. Like I think everybody's you should know by now. You can't stop the trolls, because even when you do stop them, different trolls emerge on some other level.
Which is why I said originally we got to try and spin it to almost an awareness thing.
Yeah. That's a good point. Or you just don't. And that's where, I don't know, this machine that is Twitter is so strong. Like, just not paying attention to it and like turning the other cheek kind of idea, like, just doesn't work anymore. No. And now turning into the punch also doesn't work. Like there's not a right answer, but I think is there a world that athletic trainers can help create, where there is better information out there when people, the coaches, the fans, the random, no offense, but I'm gonna pick on like a chiropractor or something that tweets out that the athletic trainer should have done X, Y, or Z instead of what they did. Is there a better? Can we create a platform in this social media platform?
Yep. Here it is.
Well. Yeah, do it.
I was just thinking about this right as you were talking about it.
Do we need it, proprietary? If you're listening to this and you create it, it's our idea first. We go.
Here's what we're going to say what it should be, and then we're going to do it because we know it's not going to get done the way I'm going to say it should get done.
Okay.
This is a situation where our organization, our national organization, should take it and be like, hey, here's what happened. Here's why it was handled correctly. And I'm calling it like I see it. NATA. This is where you need to advocate for us, your members.
Yes.
Even if you're not a damn NATA member, advocate for athletic trainers in general. Yeah. So if they're not going to do it, maybe Candid Athletic Training should take all these situations and be like, we cut up a PSA. It should be public service announcements. Here's what happened in the game. Here's why it was handled correctly. Thank you, athletic trainer.
I like this. I like the...
Maybe that's what our role needs to be, is to start broadcasting, like sports shows have highlight videos and packages. Yeah. Maybe we start having top 10 athletic training moments every night and then blasting that. Maybe we become the Barstool Sports of athletic trainers.
And then, listen, this is why he did this. And you don't know what's going on. He could be reading this. He could be sensing this.
Yeah.
So shut up.
And the answer is always going to be, it depends. Each scenario is a little bit freaking different. Here's the basic, so.
No, I hear that. That's actually a really great idea.
It really should. It should be from the organization. But the organization's probably not up to speed on this, on helping us out. So some other entity has to. It probably should be Candid Athletic Training.
It should be. Why wouldn't it be us? We need a better studio though. Not better.
No offense.
I'm sorry. No, not right. Meaning we need to have screens behind us so I can be pointing to something and be like,
exactly what
listen, this is why this is happening.
Brought to you by.
Brought to you by.
Manscaped. If there's an organization out there would love to sponsor that, that'd be pretty cool. Will add that.
Because you know what? You know what's really, taking off right now are all these athlete podcasts, right? And I think why it's taking off is because sports podcasts have taken off.
Yep.
Talking about sports.
Yep.
But now being able to hear from the athletes and maybe why, the big controversy in Wisconsin right now. Why is Aaron Rodgers not happy with playing with the Packers? Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When you hear from last we spoke, he's doing just fine. He's diving off of waterfalls and stuff, but he's fine. If you hear from an athlete, their perspective, it at least gives you a different perspective versus just the sportscaster or just the reporter. And I think maybe athletic training needs that. I think not just Yeah, no, athletic training. Athletic training needs it, and that's us. So
we'll have to figure out a way to do it. Let's figure out a way to do it. Send us clips, yeah.
Send us clips, and we'll run them, and then we'll defend our fellow athletic trainers till we're blue in the face.
100. All right, I got a random question. Well, it's not random
questions.
It's related, but it's off topic, and then we can wrap this thing up. How about that? Talking about armchair quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I always just want to talk about the armchair in general. An armchair. Do you prefer swivel or rocking? A rocking chair or a swivel chair?
To watch something?
To sit in.
Rocking. Wait. Yeah. Not a lazy boy.
So you would rather not swivel. You would rather rock.
Rocking chairs are just so comfortable, man.
I agree with you 100%.
They're so
I just wanted to see if you were really stuck on it. I'm a rocking person too.
Rocking chair. A good rocking chair. With the recliner? A good rocking chair is hard to beat.
I agree.
When you and then that like perfect rock, right?
Tempo.
It's just, oh man. Sitting outside of like a freaking what's the breakfast place?
Tiffany's?
No.
Around here?
No, in the South. I used to always go to.
Waffle House?
No, there are some here in Wisconsin too. There's one right off of 94 going down to Chicago. Why am I blanking on this? This is dumb. I mean, it's like home cooking.
Not Old Country Buffet.
No.
Cracker
Barrel.
Cracker
oh my
Barrel.
God. So outside of Cracker Barrel, on the outside of it, like that patio, there's always rocking chairs, and I always found myself sitting in one, and it was like, ooh,
like whoa,
yeah, I could get used to this. Gosh, yeah. Cracker Barrel.
I gotta vent to you off air about something my athlete said about Mount Rushmore rappers. We'll get into that.
That's bad.
We got into a huge argument. My athletes, they're stupid.
They are.
Anyways, why don't you hit the music? Let's wrap this thing up.
Okay. So, if you're interested, and you should be, you should head over to candidathletictraining.com. Get yourself a membership. Remember, we have multiple levels of membership. If you want to join the live podcast and get to talk shit with these folks right now, the Abbies and the Hannahs and the Nates, you got to get that Candomania at least, right? Maybe get yourself a full Johnson.
You don't need a $50 to get the discounts on the stuff. You just need a $25 membership. If you want to get on the live stream, you need to get a $50 membership.
Well, listen.
You're going to want to get it.
You want to get on this, all right? You want to be on this comment board. You want to have priority topics. You want to hear us complain about something. You want to hear us call people out on Twitter for their stupid comments because they're armchair ATs. You got to be that Candomania. You got to be that full Johnson. Or, you know what? You got a nice bonus at your job. Get the whole shebang. Okay? Yeah. Keep doing that. We got wonderful products. We do have lots of hats left. We just got like some more, actually. We got lots of shirts. We got lots of everything. Okay? It's the summer. Maybe, you know what we should do? We should create some more. We should create some tanks. Maybe we'll get some tanks.
We'll have that done this week.
Yeah, why not? Right? We should have that.
I'm on summer vacay.
Oh, hey. Somebody's not working, so he's just going to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed the entire time. Leave us some comments. Leave us some suggestions after you get that membership so that we actually talk about the stuff you want to hear about.
That's the key.
CandidAthleticTraining.com. If you have any concerns, keep them to yourself. But if you really want to tell us about it, CandidAthleticTraining@gmail.com is our email. HealthyRoster.com. Can't do it without you. Dan and the folks over there, you are wonderful. Miss you. We'll get you on a call pretty soon. And you know what? Thank you, Brew Fitness. Thank you, Ryan. It's been you are a great host for us. I always have a nice kettlebell right behind my head. And you always provide the perfect lighting for Chad and his wonderful face. So, you got anything else for the folks?
Nope. We'll see y'all next week.
Remember, get in on those discounts. Bye.
See ya.